So guys, this has been a really great year. 2024 is coming to an end. And once again, this has been a year full of the most wonderful hobby ever. Why? It's not this UFO painting behind me. It's not this ugly mug. It is the fact that collecting money is so easy. It is something that everyone can do. And you can just find really cool coins and banknotes right in your pocket change. Mainly, though, I just wanted to quickly say thanks for supporting the channel for multiple years now of me just boring you guys on my love for currency and collectibles and weird nerdy stuff. And mainly, I just wanted to say thanks to all of you for making me feel so special and sharing the love for this hobby and many other things, as I've met a lot of you at conventions and over the internet, as well as a few of you in person. So anyway, 2025 is going to be full of really fun adventures for me, as well as hopefully you guys out there. And I hope to just keep growing the channel, and I hope to keep growing the hobby and the community of collectors for really anything from coins to banknotes to weird funky stuff. So thanks again. I hope you guys have a really great holiday season. Happy New Year, and let's get to some more banknote searching. Oh, it's New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's Eve to everyone. Let's get one last bill search in before the year is done. I had a little bit of money from over my my vacation over the holidays, so a little bit of cash. Let's go through it, see if we find anything worth more than face value. Alright, so we're starting right off with a $10 note. Lots of good stuff to look for on these as well, any of them. If you watch any of my videos, then you know kind of what we're looking for. Misprints, error notes, special or fancy serial numbers, star notes, or replacement notes, as well as a menagerie of other stuff. So, let's talk more action. Let's get to it. Series 2013. $10 note. Early 2000s, they redesigned a bunch of U.S. currency, primarily for anti-counterfeiting measures. So, people were faking them. The U.S. government went, let's add some stuff to maybe deter that. Seems like in recent years they've seen an uptick in that, so they've decided to redesign them again. They've already released that schedule over the next few years. By few years, I mean like 30. They're going to put out new notes. Nothing on that $10 note. 2021 $1 note. Some 39 action in there. A few digits away from a broken ladder. Pretty good condition, despite some folding up, and it looks like it's been kind of wet at one point. Another thing I like to do is keep an eye out on the back around the seals. So the kind of heraldic eagle with the little shield and bunch of representations of the number 13 with the stars, the stripes, the olive branch, the arrows, so forth, as well as the unfinished pyramid, the all-seeing eye. There's a bunch of history to that stuff. You will see that in another video if you go to my channel. Nothing there. Series 2021 as well. Only difference in these is the signatures on the bottom. So there's nothing really to talk about there too much. If you're interested in all the little things about a $1 bill, both conspiracy theory, actual history, real design, all those things, then you can check out my video that talks all about the actual makeup design of U.S. currency. Nothing going on. Little bit of that wet ink transfer where you can see a portion of Washington's coat. Unless it's like a silhouette of him essentially, or kind of an outline of the portrait in its entirety, I wouldn't say it's collectible. And same dealio, 2021 series. You'll see a lot of those, as now they're probably the vast majority of circulated ones. Nothing going on there. A little bit more of that wet ink transfer. Kind of a press through. What's going on here? Fold it all up. Somebody wrote on him too, and that's not cool. A little bit of an ink splatter from a ballpoint pen. Kind of a cool serial number, like the year 2048, year 2300, but I'm not going to hold on to it for that. Birthday notes are really sought after. This one's tore up too. So this one's seen its day. Hard to tell if there's anything collectible on the back there, seeing as how it's pretty beat up. 2017 $1 note. 2017A and 2017. Let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. 2017 and 2017A, they have a lot of print in those series. So a lot of them have this little over ink, since I'm looking at it right now, and usually it's on both the serial numbers. I do see on eBay and Facebook groups and stuff, people sell those and they're like, over-inked serial number. And they'll sell it for $3 or $5. If you want to buy that, rock on. I'm not into that. Little bit of damage to that one. And nothing going on this 5. These are my favorite 5s, other than like large notes that are from long ago. But they redesigned these along with the 10s and the 20s. Ooh, I saw a little something cool peeking out. But anyhow, they enhance the graphics. One, if you ever can visit Washington, which my lovely lady and I, Jessica, are going to be going to Washington soon, doing all the tours. I'll take a bunch of video and stuff like that. If you know me, you know I love anything history, not just U.S. history, just world history. So also we're taking some trips later in the year now that we're getting Jess's passport in. So if you have anywhere suggestions of places to go see, please let me know. Brings us to this sweet little replacement note. We're only a few minutes into the video, so that's pretty cool. Maybe halfway through the notes, so hopefully you stuck with me. I think my average view duration's 3 minutes before people get bored. But anyhow, kind of cool serial number, but nothing crazy going on. What's noticeable about it is from the 8 over, you can see it's a little bit higher, 802062. Kind of an odometer note, but primarily we got that nice replacement Starnote action on this $20 note. If it was in incredibly good condition, which this one's a bit beat up, I'd say it's worth a little over face value, maybe $4 or $5 over face value to the right person. This one's just a good old circulator replacement note. Now, I will search the number at the end of the video. I'll show you how to do that. And we can see if there's anything kind of more special with this note that makes it more valuable than $20. If it was mint condition, cool serial number, and a star note, you could usually sell those for like $30, $40. Nothing on the back. You can kind of read the serial number through the back, but you can't feel it because we're not in the Jets. I don't even know if the Jetsons is on. Probably shows my age, but in the Jetsons, they could reach in the TV and feel stuff, interact with the people in the games. It was a funny part of the show, but you can't feel it. But this thing's been wet, folded, and is a little worn out. But I love me star notes, so I'm going to set it aside. 2009, same dealio. This one's really beat up. What's going on here? Looks like the edge of maybe a weird counter stamp of some sort. Looks almost like a literal stamp. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe I'll make a stamp. Anyway, little bit of shift up in the serial numbers and seal. Very slight. Nothing too crazy on the front obverse of the banknote. Back's all jacked up. Missing a lot of the ink. Hard to tell if it's collectible or anything is misprinted, so kind of move on. Looks like we got a bunch of ones, maybe 5 or 10 in there. That'll go towards laundry and lunch later since my washer crapped out on me. Bunch of 9s going on, some 2s. But nothing too crazy. Little shift up in the seals. Now, it's not sitting way off. If the seals and serial numbers, or shifts in general really, are obscuring other portions of the note, like if this was sitting high, almost touching Washington, D.C., then I would consider it a kind of shifted print error. Same deal if it's miscut or a shifted cut or print, then it really needs to be touching the edge of the note or really close to it. I'll put some links to good Facebook groups that I don't run or anything, but seem to have a large amount of people that really know their stuff, so you can maybe join those and post to them and learn some more stuff, since I can't really get to every comment all the time. Yeah, 4, 8, 7, 8, 7, kind of some 7s action, but not a pattern enough for me to hold on to. I don't really even hold on to trinary notes with just 3 digits unless they're a really cool kind of sequence in the numbers. And nothing going on there. Really nice print. Good vibrant color on the back of this, despite it being kind of beat up. Would have been nice if our Starnote find was like that. Nothing going on here. And little shift over, tiny shift over to the left here, but not enough to hold on to. Back of the note, keep an eye out around kind of the blanker areas. A lot of the times you'll get excess of ink printed over in these areas. If it's really dramatic, those can sell for a few bucks over the over the face value. Sorry, my coffee's coming back on me. Couple of 6s, couple of 8s, couple of 7s. If they would have repeated as just those 3 numbers, I probably would have held on to it. Series 2017A. So I mentioned this earlier. These are common to have an over ink, especially on 1s and 10s is what I noticed. Not so much the 20s. Very clean note, though. Don't be confused by these little marks up here. Those are like the little teeth on the counting machine at the bank. So they just get dirty, and the bank doesn't ever clean them. So it'll transport, you know, kind of ink and grime over to the note, looking like little tick marks. So don't get confused by that. This is damage. Nothing crazy here. 2021 $5 note. Completely drenched at one point. All beat up. Can't really tell if anything's misprinted or too crazy. Last notes, $2 notes. 2017A and 2017. So coincidentally, we're going to talk about the ones I mentioned earlier in the video. These series are really common for over inks that are just on all of them or a lot of them. In this case, now that I say that, these don't have it, but I personally wouldn't be fooled by that. Don't spend $3 or $5 on a minor little over-inked digit, unless you're really into collecting those. You know, it's up to you. These are going to have just signatures different. There's no design changes in $1 notes since the 50s. These ones are both pretty beat up, so that'll leave a lot to be desired in the condition. Front of the notes, nothing really coming out. If I can talk, back of the notes, there we go. This one's a bit beat up, more damage than the other one. Also, it's been wet, reaching end of life, so nothing there. Last but not least, the reverse of this note, much cleaner. Little bit of folds, little bit of damage. Otherwise, good old-fashioned dollar bill. Nothing in the serial number, so nothing to talk about there. So what are we holding on to for our last bill search of the year? One of my favorites. A wonderful little Starnote. Would have loved for it to have a little bit cooler serial number. But let's look this up, and I'll show you how to do that. And we can see if there's any more cool information about it, and see if it has some good value, despite this little tear that I notice now. Bummer, but let's check it out. Alright, so we're going to hop over to a website to check out our Starnote. We'll input the info for it, including the serial number. Hit look your Starnote up. Look up your Starnote if I can read. This will give us kind of some basic info on it. So there was a total of 9.6 million of them printed. This is from a regular sheet. And there's nothing really too special about this Starnote. It's pretty much your standard replacement note, so that's not going to add any value. Let's check out how kind of cool the serial number is, and it'll give us some info on that. Now, regardless of whether it says it's very cool or not, the cool info here is that it only 0.39% have even numbers. There's 2 triples. The sum is 20, and it only has 4 digits in it, so there's some cool factors to it. But nonetheless, this is just a standard replacement note.